It's another week, it's another video, and again, we are back with Rapid Chats with Angus. And today I have another special guest. His name is Jurie van Vuuren, all the way from the Free State, but he ended up in the Western Cape. I'm not sure how that happened, but we'll find out soon. Jurie, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. It's nice joining you guys.
Well, normally when I start these chats, I'd do a quick recap on everyone's careers, and I'm going to do the same with you. So you are Free State born, like I've mentioned, and you played a little bit for Marties, and then you've been involved with the Western Province setup since 2012. And you didn't have much experience, senior experience, and then all of a sudden you were on a trip to Australasia to make a Super Rugby debut against the Brumbies. I mean, how crazy was that experience?
Yeah, that was a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, I'll never forget that morning when I actually received the news. I was on my way to pick up one of my teammates because I was supposed to actually make my Vodacom Cup debut that weekend.
Wow.
So I went to pick him up the morning, and next moment I just got a Twitter notification informing me that Reynard Elstad hurt his shoulder and he was going to be replaced by me. And that was the first I saw of it. So obviously it was too good to be true, and I still pulled through to Belleville where we used to train. And when I got there, everyone was just asking me why am I training? I'm supposed to be packing my bags.
Oh man, that's so crazy, eh? I mean, I would have been total shock. And unfortunately, you guys lost that match 25-15 as far as I can remember. It was a tough season. There was a lot of injuries I remember as well. And you remained in the Western Province setup until the 2017 season, and finishing off with a title, winning the inaugural Supersport Rugby Challenge under Coach John Dobson, who's now involved with the Stormers. And that was quite a unique tournament because the whole idea obviously was to take rugby to places where it's not normally played. Like we are used to going to Newlands or to Loftus, even to Nelspruit, during the Currie Cup season. How did you find that whole campaign as a player, but also as a human being, to go to these places like Oudtshoorn, and I'm not sure where you guys all played, but to see how hungry the people were in those areas for the game as well?
No, it was totally a whole new different experience, but if I could do it all over again, you don't have to ask me twice. I mean, we played at some of the most iconic rugby fields in the Eastern Cape, especially. I remember in Dunsane, just rich of history, and the halftime entertainment was second to none. So props to the organizers of the inaugural Supersport Challenge.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was the final. You guys played in the rain, I guess, against Free State. I'm not too sure. Greek was.
Yeah.
Against Greek was
Yeah,
quite a rainy day, but the ball
final
was still going on.
it was insane actually, the final. I mean, it's one of those days that you'll treasure it for a very long time to come. And I had quite a few friends that actually wanted to pull through and come watch the game, but they just couldn't get into the stadium because it was too packed.
Yeah,
There were no seats, nowhere, there were no parking.
Damn,
But it was the atmosphere was electric.
I remember I wanted to come through myself. I think it was on a Sunday, if I remember correctly, but the weather
Yeah.
was so gloomy, and I was like, not today. And what you're telling me now is probably a good thing, because I probably would have been mad for not getting parking, not even getting in, because as well, I think. So it's a great competition as a whole. But in any case,
No, it was amazing.
yeah, definitely. So after that, you joined the Kings for 2 seasons. Do you have any insight as to why you made that move to the Friendly City?
Okay, well, obviously I've been at Western Province / the Stormers for, if you take it, about 6 years, and I just felt maybe I needed a bit of a change just to get that spark back, especially in my career as a whole. I felt like I was going through a bit of a dip, possibly. So maybe a change of scenery was just to bring back some life into my own gameplay, especially. And I figured, I mean, it wasn't too long, time goes by so quick, and yeah, I just went for a 2-year stint, and I don't regret the decision. I mean, I learned a whole lot playing over in the UK against those teams, and you played against superstars as well in the Pro 14. So yeah, that was an awesome experience in itself. And I mean, PE not as bad as everyone claims it is.
Yeah, I had a friend actually who told me it's just a bad place with the beach, but I tend to disagree as well. And this wasn't part of the conversation I planned, but just touching on the Pro 14, how do you think the South African sides will adapt if they do have to move north and join the competition? Because you played.
Well, to be honest,
I feel
I feel that the team that's going to adapt the quickest is going to come out on top. You've seen with the Cheetahs how they went in their debut season. So, but they definitely have a shot at making a big name and putting South Africa on the map. And yeah, it's very competitive rugby, much more set piece driven and pretty physical. Not as quick as Super Rugby, but yeah, it's a whole new, different dynamic of rugby.
Now, you more say it's kind of like a test match kind of vibe.
Yeah,
haven't
you
played
get
test match
more of a
but
test match kind of feel.
yeah, you kind
Yeah,
of get this
yeah,
idea. Eh?
yeah.
And then, yeah, it was in 2019, you and I made a plan to get a beer at the Cape Town Stadium for sevens. And then you told me, brah, it's a miss because I signed a deal with Utha Warriors. I mean, how did that deal come about?
Yeah, I'll still make it up to you, by the way. So, I mean, it was going towards the end of the 2019, actually, yeah, going towards the end of the 2019 Pro 14 season. They started getting in contact with my agent, Tom Negri, and yeah, that's pretty much how the talks started off. I'm not quite sure how it came about or how they found out about me. But yeah, we were in talks for quite a while. We had like voice calls from between here and America. And then, yeah, eventually in December last year, I put pen to paper and I left the country just after Christmas.
Yeah, I remember you said you wasn't sure about if you're going to leave before sevens or after sevens. So it was a bit of a if but or maybe situation back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, yeah, they were already busy with preseason.
Yeah.
So I joined them a bit late, but yeah.
And yeah, you were a lock at the Stormers, number 5, and then a utility forward for Western Province. You mostly played on the flank, and now you are number 8 at Utah Warriors. I mean, quite a versatile guy. But which position would you say is your best?
Yeah, well, I'm actually surprised I haven't played hooker and prop yet, but you never know what's on the cards. But yeah, the number 8 jersey has definitely grown on me very quickly. I'm actually could kick myself for not giving it a crack earlier on in my career. But yeah, I mean, every training session, every game, I'm just learning. It's a learning curve for me. But to be honest, I mean, if you give me a number 4 jumper, I feel just as home. So yeah, I think the thing that's helped me a lot in my career has been the fact that I can play multiple positions. It just helped me a lot.
Definitely, and I think these days, you know, if you can be a hybrid player, you know, you definitely have an advantage over a specialist guy. I mean, nothing wrong with a specialist, but the way the game is going these days, it's sort of helpful to, you know, be a hybrid player.
Just,
look at the guy like
things are constantly changing.
Sorry, you were saying?
I know. I mean, the game is constantly changing. You might as well change with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, back in the day, Peter Steve, when he started at flank against Japan, South Africa lost the match, and the same against England. And people were like, you know, oh, they're actually doing the right thing to play him there. Now he's the best in the world in this position. One can't even imagine him going back to lock now. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good for him. If the pressure comes.
It is kind of odd if you think about it that way around.
Yeah, geez. I mean, if you think about it, like you just said, you know, like you can't imagine him playing lock again. But, you know, for that whole period, you were like, put him back in lock. It's his position. And then now we're just like, oh, damn, he's the best loose forward in the world. So it's where our life turns out, eh? And so,
no, it definitely is.
And so, how would you compare the Major League Rugby competition to Super Rugby and Currie Cup in terms of the intensity, the speed, and just the overall quality?
Well, I mean, obviously, Super Rugby is known for the speed and the intensity of the gameplay. And Currie Cup, not as quick, but it also, you get the odd game or two where it's pretty high paced and physicality is always up there. So, but with Major League, I'm actually surprised at how good the quality of rugby is for competition that's 3 years old. So, yeah, I mean, but you also get your odd games. I mean, some of the games are, I mean, the way we play over there, you get like a water break after every quarter. And you'll have one quarter where it's more like almost first division kind of rugby. And then the quarter after that is at a Super Rugby pace. So, you never really know what's going to happen. You just take it quarter by quarter. But yeah, the quality is definitely at least up there by Premier Division, Currie Cup, if I had to rate it myself. And you never know with all the big names signing over there and the way the competition is growing, especially the quality of the rugby and the quality of the officiators that are also coming in now in the coming seasons. You never know, you might actually get a Super Rugby quality kind of game over there very soon.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw Jonathan Kaplan also signed with the Major League Rugby, I think, as one of the referee heads or something. So that's quite a big input because he was one of the best in
Yeah.
South Africa and even in the world. I think he got like over, 100 or test matches. I mean, that's unheard of for a referee. So it's definitely growing in America now. And
Yeah.
yeah, I actually want to ask you this. You know, they seem to have quite a unique culture in the Major League Rugby competition. And I saw a post of you once that you got the big hit of the week. And they presented you a belt with very much like a WWE wrestling or boxing kind of belt. I know wrestling is big in America, obviously. I was a big fan as a child myself of old WWE wrestling. How would you compare the culture of the Major League Rugby sides, or at least of Utah Warriors, compared to what you experienced in South Africa?
Oh, well, to be honest, I have to say it's the diversity in the Major League Rugby it's actually unheard of. I mean, I've played in teams where we've got like a few mixed cultures and backgrounds, but nothing like I've seen. I mean, in Major League Rugby, all the teams, you play with a mixed bag of Samoans, Fijians, South Africans, Americans, Hawaiians, like everything goes there, and it's a complete mixed bag. And I mean, you come across guys that are from places that you didn't even know play rugby, and they shine. They play like superstars. So yeah, but the culture is very good, and I mean everyone gets along very nicely. The organizers are doing a real good job behind the scenes to make sure the competition just keeps on growing. And yeah, I mean you're getting new teams. I mean we had 2 new teams this past season, another 2 joining next season, so it's growing rapidly. And yeah, I mean in terms of the culture, we always just try and everyone just tries to make it as fun as possible, just make it kind of a spectacle and push it, because you never know, it might end up being something like an NBA of rugby.
Yeah, it could be a. And just touching on that, so you are quite young. You are 27 years old now, I think. Do you have any ambitions to play maybe
Yeah.
before the USA should the opportunity present itself?
Well, yeah, I don't get one. Obviously, I'm South African now. They'll probably want to kick me in my behind if I say it out loud. But I mean, it's about the opportunities. I mean, you can't sit around waiting forever. So whichever comes first, you never know. I'm definitely open to play test rugby, so it doesn't really matter who it's for right now.
No, you take it as you get it, eh? So yeah, I think we are done with the serious questions now. I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions just so people can get to know you a bit better. So first up, Netflix, or seeing that you are in South Africa now, Showmax?
Netflix.
Okay, burger or pizza?
I'll go burger.
Okay, festival or concert?
Definitely a festival.
I've kind of thought that, knowing you. Sneakers or flip-flops?
Sneakers.
Okay, Instagram or Facebook?
Insta.
Keep it with the gram, eh? Cooking or braai?
That's a tough one. I actually I love both. I love both. It's a bit harder to braai when I'm over at the States, but when I'm at home, I definitely love to put on a little fire.
So braai it is, I guess.
Yeah.
And do you perhaps have a celebrity crush?
If I had to have one, it would probably be Margot Robbie.
Okay, cool. And what's your favorite meal?
Favorite meal? Gatsby. Has to be a Gatsby.
A man so close
It
to
has to be
God.
a gas.
No homo. I actually enjoy the muchachos one the best. I'm not sure if you had it before. The muchachos gas beer is
Oh,
like beautiful. But
oh my gosh.
go on. Favorite beer?
To be honest, I'm having a little gin and dry lemon now, but a Stellenbrow Craven Lager.
Mm. Go back to
Yeah,
your
definitely.
And
Yeah.
last one. Herbalife or Herbix? I'm joking.
Oh
You don't
man.
have to answer that
Hey,
one.
you know, if I answer that,
You don't have to answer that one.
if I answer that, I'm gonna upset quite a few people. Eh?
Exactly. I'm saying.
So I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna give that one a skip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to answer that one. Just for our own safety, basically. Both of our safety, actually. But we know what it's all about. It's a bit of an
Yeah,
inside
no,
joke.
people know where I stay.
You were saying?
Sorry? People know where I stay, so I'm just gonna skip that one.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep the inside joke between us. But a bit more seriously, and our last question, obviously, if you could spend one day with any personal hero, be it sports, politics, whatever, who would it be and why?
To be honest, like if I had to spend a day with someone, I wish I could spend a day with the late President Nelson Mandela. The things he's done for our country and South Africa is just amazing. He's just an amazing human being, and it's thanks to him that I've had the opportunities that I've had to be able to get to where I am today. So it's all credit to him, but you never know, maybe one day up there.
Yeah. That's what I always say, maybe one day up there, and definitely, because we all see each other again one day. At least with the lifestyle I live, I hope that's the case. But
100%.
yeah, but Jurie, thanks, my man. I do appreciate your time. It's been a wonderful chat with you. And by the way, when is the season resuming that side of the world again? Do you have any idea of what's the go ahead now after the whole pandemic, or is everything still in limbo?
So we are in talks. Just keeping communications up because we obviously want to get back on the park as soon as possible. So initially the plan was to start at the end of November, but it's been delayed now by the Major League Rugby. So all the teams can only resume training from the 4th of January. So I'll probably head back just after New Year's and give it another crack in the number 8 jumper.
So basically, as far as I remember, that's more or less your preseason time. So it's basically you're just going to scrap the season and just go on to the new one, eh?
Yeah, so the season got cancelled indefinitely, and yeah, so we're moving on to the new season that's approaching us next year, and yeah, hopefully no disruptions this time around.
Yeah, one could only hope. I mean, there's still a British and Irish Lions tour coming up here as well, and I mean the tickets are coming out next week, and I'm obviously going to buy one, but I'm thinking to myself, what if I buy one and then I can't even attend it, or it might not even come off? You know, we are living in such an uncertain period now. You know, anything can happen, and we just hope for the best going forward. But anyway, brother, I really enjoyed your talk. I enjoyed the chat. Thanks again for your time.
Yeah.
Enjoy your gin and dry lemon over there. I'm not touching that
Oh,
stuff.
thanks a lot. Cheers.
But cheers, bro, and yeah, appreciate the talk. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for your time. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Bye bye.